Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another legit coding demonstration by Dr. Schick. Today we're going to talk about strings. Shh, down, please. And strings are prevalent in the AP exam. What I have up here on the board right now is the computer science Frigger response questions from 2016. Let's count how many of the four are about strings. So let's move down. Let's see. Can I go by page? Here we go. Page by page. Question 1. Random string chooser. Well, that's about strings. 1. So here's more question 1. Okay, question 2. Private string machine ID. That's about strings, so 2 out of 2 so far. Let's keep going. 3. Crossword puzzle. This is actually about numbers. So 2 out of 3. Question 4. String list. 3 out of 4. This is very typical of AP exams. They're all about strings. Fortunately, the AP exam gives you a cheat sheet to look at, and the cheat sheet tells you a little bit about strings. So the Java language string has the following methods that you will be using in the AP exam. Length, substrings, there's 2 kinds of substrings, index of, compare to. You'll also need character at to get characters. Gentlemen, you're talking, please.
Sorry, could you repeat the last part again?
Shh. Okay, so the Java lang string class has methods which will manipulate the strings. One method is length, tells you the length of string. Substring will return a substring out of the bigger string. Index of will find a substring within the string. There are 2 index ofs. We see one here which finds the first substring. The second index of takes an index starting point and will find a substring at that starting point toward the back. Compare to will return 2 strings. Strings cannot use the less than or the equals comparison or the greater than comparison. They must use instead the compare to function. So you will get this cheat sheet during the AP exam, and it will give you some hints as to how to manipulate strings. So today, we're going to manipulate strings, and we're going to look at one of the AP exam questions to manipulate strings. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to march through the methods and see how each method works? Or would you rather look at a question and see if we can use the methods to solve the question? Which would you prefer? How many people would prefer the first one? Okay. So we're going to march through the string methods, string class methods. So let's get this string class methods off to the side. And what I have here is a blank Eclipse workspace. I'm going to grab my blank Java file and drag it into my demonstration project. Here's my demo 2 project. I'm going to open that up so I can see the source. Grab my blank Java file, drag it to the source and release. Ask me, do you want a link or copy? I always want a copy because I want a copy and not a link because I'm reusing that Java file. And it gives me a blank. So I open the source up. The blank goes in default project. Here it is. It's called blank. If I open it up, it's empty. And I want to rename this file to the class name that I'm going to stick in this file. And the class name I want to stick in here is going to be called StringDemo. So I'm going to right-click on the blank Java file. When I right-click on a file in Eclipse, it gives me the menu for the file. I want to refactor this file, and the option under refactor is rename. So I'm going to rename this file. So I click on rename, and it says, what do you want to call it? I'm going to call this StringDemo. Camel case with a leading capital letter. So I have a StringDemo file, and in the StringDemo file, I'm going to do my demonstration. So let's plan the demonstration first. I want to demonstrate string or capital S string functions for the AP exam. And the AP exam makes extensive use of the following string methods. We have length. We have index of. I spelled length wrong. Doesn't matter. Index of takes a string. We have substring. it takes an index. An index from, and sometimes an index to. See, what else do we have? We go over here. So we have length, substring, index of, compare to, string. And let's not, where's get, so character at, index. So we need to learn how to use all these. I'm going to rename length to right. It's not length, it's length, L-E-N-G-T-H. And we'll begin by creating our class. So we're going to create a class called, what is it called? StringDemo. And this is a public class. This will have a main inside it, so let's make main. Main is a public, static, void return type. Name is called main. And the parameter list is a capital string array. We can name anything we want to. I can name mine args. Okay, so now we're ready. So we're going to make some strings, and then we're going to use the lengths and index of. So let's make a string. To create a string, we use the type of the variable. It's a variable type is string. String is a class, and so we're going to create a class instance. And to reference the class instance, we need a reference variable. I'll call this string1, str1. So now I have a class instance variable. To assign a string to it, I need to create a new string. So I'm going to assign to my reference variable a new string. Whoopsie, use the default parameters. Or another thing you can do is just assign a literal string to it, like hello world. And I'll assign hello world to the string. So let's do the first one, length. So I'm going to print it, system.out.println. It's lagging a little bit here. And I want to do str1 plus dot length equals, and then do the length, str1 dot length. And I didn't do print line, print ln for print line. So what we're doing here is we have this hello world. This is string 1. We're just going to test the length and see how long it is. I run it, compiles. It's just like hello world. My hello world has 11 characters in it, space counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is correct. So as you see, length tells you how many characters are currently in the string. The other thing, we can pull characters out of the string, so let's do character at. System.out.println, and we're going to do string1 plus dot character at, open parentheses, plus I, I'm going to make an I, plus close parentheses equals, plus string1 dot character at I. And so now here I'm using this index I that I don't have yet. Let's make it index I. Indices are of course integers, integer I, and we'll set I equal to 5 and see what happens. So here I'm just testing a character at. I should return the character at the position. So this is index 5. It is 0 base, so H is 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should get a space out. Let's do 6. Character at 6 should give me the W for world. And it returns a single character. So let's run this and see what happens. So hello world, character at 6 is the letter W, which is what we were looking for. So character at will remove a single, or show you a single character, does not remove it. What else do we have to play with? Index of string, so we're going to look for a string within this other string. Let's look for low. And so if we do substring character system.out.println, let's do the L instead. L, we can do L. Print line, and we have str plus dot index of open parenthesis plus we need a substring here, so let's make a substring and call it st plus plus close parenthesis equals plus str1 dot index of str. So I need this str. I don't have one. This is a substring. String str equals the string L. Str. Alright, so let's run this test. Here I'm making a substring called an L. I'm looking for a single L in hello world. The first single L is right here after the E. That's at position 2. So when I run this, I should see position 2 come out. And it says index of L is position 2. If we look for something that's not there, str equals the string, I don't know, x. There's no x in hello world. And so when we run the test, we should see the value for it's not there. And that value is a -1. So here we should see the, let's see, the first L at index 2 and no x, so see a -1. All right, let's run this, see if we get that -1 to show up. And did we get a -1? So index of will look for the first instance of this passed string. When it finds the first instance, it passes the index of the start of that instance. If that instance does not exist, it's a -1. There is another index of. This is an interesting one for you. So we're going to use the string equals L, and we use the next index of. So string L, first index is 2, and we want index of 0, comma string. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's not working? With an index of int in the type string is not applicable for the arguments int, comma string. String's not an int. Why does it say this is an int? Alright, I need to look at index of. Nope, I need to look at strings. So it says it won't work, but I think that should work, so I'm going to try to find out why it's not working. I'm looking for the other index of, and to do that I'm going to go to the Oracle command. We're going to do strings or Java strings. And I'm looking for the 2 methods for index of. Where's Oracle? Where are you, Oracle? Geeks for Geeks, Java Point, Java String Class, Beginners, Tutorial, W3 Schools, Course, NTU, Java Point, Oracle. Here we go. Oop, one before that. Constructors, blah, blah. Here we go. Methods. Looking for the index ofs. There's 2 index ofs. One looks for an int character, returns the index within the string, the first current specified character. Or we have int character, int from index. Or we have string. We have string, and then from index. So I have it backwards. That's why it's mad. So instead of the index coming first, the index comes after the string we're looking to. That'll work. Okay, so the first L is at index 2. If we remember where these index are and keep looking, similar to this, I equals str1 dot index of str, comma 0. Let's do str I. We'll do I here. And we'll make I equals 0 here. I equals 0. And then we'll do a while loop right here. While I is not equal to -1, do I equals str1 dot index of, and we want to print this out. We do system dot out dot print str1 plus dot index of open parentheses quotes plus stir plus comma space plus I plus close quotes equals space, get our I, and then we do system.out.print line I. All right, so let's look at this test. We have a while loop. The while loop is going to keep going as long as I is not -1. I starts at 0. The first thing we do is we print our start. We're going to print the string whose index we're looking for. We need a string here too. str equals the letter L. We're looking for the L in starting at position I, and when we find it, we set I to the new position, and then we print I. So let's run this and see our print statements spitting out the bottom here. We find all the L's. Oh, it's stuck. Let's see, I equals string. Oh, we do +1. I'm sorry. I, and then we do ++ here, and then we're done. There we go. Now it's going to work like I want it to. Notice that the first time I ran it, I was not incrementing I, so I was looking for a substring starting at where the substring began. Like L starts at position 2, so it's always there, and it ran forever. But here I'm going to the next position after I print I out. So let's see what we get here. Should find all L's, and it repeats. It doesn't stop. Why doesn't it stop? Oh, because I increment. All right, let's stop this here and look at this. So my logic is incorrect, but we're finding all the L's. There's an L at position 2, an L at position 3, an L at position 9, and then we're out. But I'm incrementing afterward, and so I want to do this here. Instead of I, we're going to do ++ I here, and we're going to start at -1. No, we'll start at 0. How can I do while? Now we're going to do a do while. Here we go. Do. Grab this crap, stick it here. Let's make I start at -1. And we're going to do a system out, print line index of ++ I equals string index of I, print I. And then while I is not equal -1, and we remove these thingies and make that a semicolon. Let's run this again and see if it works the way I want it to. It's a do while. Now it works the way I want it to. Am I stuck? No, it terminated. It worked fine. Okay, so let's look at this test one more time. I'm starting at index 0, or so I start at index of -1 and I increment my index. I'm looking for an L. The first time I look for L in Hello World, it finds it at position 2. So we see that here. I start at 0, I go to position 2. I start at position 3 and I find an L there. I start at position 4 and the next L is at position 9. I start at position 10 and there are no L's beyond position 10. So this will find all the L's in my index one at a time. What I'd like you to take home from this is that there's 2 index ofs. One takes the string you're looking for and where to start in the string, and one just takes the string you're looking for. So the next thing to look at is, we just did index ofs, College Board stuff, substring. You see a lot of use of substring. Substring can pull the L's out. And so let's look for a substring in Hello World starting at position 4 and doing a go to position 8 or 6 and see what it looks like. So we do system.out.println string1 plus dot substring substring open plus we have start position. Let's do F plus comma and end position plus, let's do E for end, plus close parentheses equals, and we'll print out the substring, plus string1 dot substring, oh, it's all lowercase, sorry, substring and we want from, end, and that's it. We don't have a front or an end, so let's make an int front, int f and e. Front is where we want to start. We want to start at 5 or 4, and e is where we want to end. Let's end at 7. Substring is a from inclusive to end exclusive. And let's run this to see what you get. So this is from hello world. I go from 4 to 7, 4 inclusive, 7 exclusive, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should get O, 5, 6, 7. O space W is what we should get out, and O space W comes out. What happens if we try to go to indices that do not exist? Let's find out. So we're going to say from equals 99, and 2 equals 2. So we're going backwards. And we do our system out print line again. That's this one. When you're learning new things, I highly recommend playing with them to see what happens. That's what I'm going to do here. And when I run this, it crashes. String index out of bounds. So if you give an index that's out of bounds, it's going to crash. How about if the indices are backwards? So let's say we go from 9 to 2, and let's do from from 5 to 2. We know 5 and 2 are both in the string, but if we go backwards, what happens? String index out of bounds again. It says index out of bounds exception. So it must be from must be less than end. 1 to 2 should give me just the letter at 1, which is hello HE. It's an E. That should give me an E. What happens to the end is off the end. Let's go to 99, see what happens. Another index out of bounds. So the indices that you use for substring must be in bounds. The last index can be the length of the string. I believe the length of the string is 11, right? We got length up here somewhere, 11. Length is 11. So we should be able to go to 11 and have it run. So this is all about the H, hello world. And then the other substring, we can do the last substring. The ending is expected. So system.out.println. And we can do a string plus substring, F, there's no comma. And there's no E, so we just pick up after the E, which is the close, and the substring F. And close, close, semicolon. So notice there's 2 substring commands. One has a front index and an end index, and one just has a front index. We do the substring with just the front index. It gets hello world, so all the rest of the world, the word, the current string, from that index to the end. And of course, if that index is out of bounds, it doesn't work. So what's left? The last thing you do is compare to. And then we've thoroughly looked at the string bits that you're going to be worried about in the AP exam. So what are we doing? Compare to. So we need 2 strings. String str2, and let's do hello world again. Hello world. Let's do that on a new line. Str2 equals hello world, and we're going to do compare to with our current string and hello world. So we do system.out.println, and we do string1 plus dot compare to open parentheses plus str2 plus close parentheses equals space plus str1 dot compare to and str2 close semicolon. So we're going to just compare 2. If the 2 strings are the same, we should get a 0. And indeed we do. Hello world compared to hello world is a 0. So let's copy these 2 lines and just paste them again. Change our string to something different. Instead of hello world, let's have us A, B, C, E, F, G, H, G. So we'll have Gello world. So Gello world comes before hello world in alphabetical order. So we should see a positive 1, and we do. And then of course, if it comes after, we see a negative 1. So let's copy those 2 lines again. Control V, And A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I. ELO world comes after in alphabetical order, so we should see a -1. Now do be aware the compare to uses Unicode or ASCII code or whatever character set you're using. And so in this character set, it is in alphabetical order. G comes before H comes before I. And that's compared to, and that's everything. So let's look at a practice problem, and we'll try to see if it works in here. So let's grab that AP exam thingy I had open. Where is it? Here? No, here? Yes. And I'm going to ask you guys, how are you going to do this? So we have this question involves the process of taking a list of words, called a word, I think we've done this already, and produce a formatted string of specified lengths. We're going to create one string from a array of strings. Oh, this is a good one. Oh. So I'm going to have you look at this. This is, let's see if I can find it for you. 2016 question, free response question 4. 2016 free response question 4. You guys have it? All right, go ahead and get that out and tell me how to do it. Have we done it in class? You don't think so? Okay, let's do it. All right, so we're going to do this. I'm going to stop the demo here. So, and I'll probably restart once you guys come up and start working. So we are going as a class to work with strings on question number 4 from the 2016 AP exam, the free response question number 4. So I'm going to pause the demo here, and we'll pick up once we have a little bit of work done. All right.